But yeah, going into the Jalen Ramsey stuff, and then how the Rams acquired all these superstars. Do you guys think that's going to be the new blueprint leading up into the next seasons? I mean,
Tom
because
Brady's
even if you
done
look
it recently, the Rams just
even
did
if you
it.
look at the Bengals, their defense, 7 of their starters weren't there the year before. So it's almost like they kind of build it up.
But
Joe
you know
Burrows
what? But you know what? That defense did not go get big name players. They got players that fit into
their scheme,
into the scheme, into the role. I mean,
kind of like
there's no home run hitters on that defense.
The money ball approach, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. They fit into the scheme. They fit into the DC's game plan, and that's what made them shine.
Yeah.
So yeah, they went out and got 7 new guys, but it's not like they went out and got Von Miller or Ramsey or any of these other big impact players.
Well, what's interesting about that you bring that up, it's not necessarily like they went out and chased those
Free
guys.
agents.
No. Well, those guys were available. There was a reason why those guys were available.
Mm-hmm.
The Broncos were looking to trade Von Miller, right? Mm-hmm. And then the Rams came up with a better offer. Same thing with Ramsey and the Jags. Though both players came from teams that were trying to essentially rebuild, right, or clear house and acquire picks. That's pretty much what they did. And then Odell was a free agent. Because there was other teams that went after Odell, but I guess the Rams had the better offer. So it's not like necessarily like they went out and
really Stafford's only the big guy that they went
and got after, right? But also too, I mean, Stafford was also, again, he was available. Had they tried that the year before, they would have been like, no, go screw yourself, right?
Hey, interesting that like you're talking about the picks and how they set it up. Well, if you notice the shirt that the GM wore,
F them picks.
And then he said,
that
was a picture of himself, and it just said F them picks.
That was pretty cool that they're buying into that.
Yeah, and then
like,
he said it again, like when he got on the podium, he was like, F them picks.
That was my first time seeing.
Now.
That was my first time seeing the GM, or I think it was after the game when he went up to. I think it was like the NFL Network podium. They were interviewing everybody, and he kind of just goes up. He's like got a regular T-shirt on. He's got a hat. He looked like he was like
a fan.
No, not like an equipment guy.
Oh, okay.
Like he looks exactly like you would think, like the equipment guy who's just rah on the sideline and then just talking all kinds of shit. But he's the guy who put it all together.
He's the architect of the
and I was like, but I feel like that's a testament to their culture there in LA now, which is like McVay. You got a younger coach. He's not necessarily a coach who's going to come in and just like, oh, we got to change culture and like. It's my way or the highway type thing. It's almost like you kind of get the feel like everybody contributed to them winning the Super Bowl, right? Yeah. Like the season, like
feels like a very college like atmosphere.
Not even college like atmosphere. I feel like this is more or less like the new professional atmosphere where everybody comes in, they do their work, and they do it well. Right, which is like everybody's allowed to come in, and it's almost like a collaboration. It's like a team project. Which I mean, they have their one leader, McVay, sure, but it's not like he's the one doing all the work, right? I feel like college atmosphere is like for Urban Meyer, for example, where he came in and he wanted to control and dictate everything.
He's a player's coach. He lets his guys do what they do.
He's what, 38 years old or 36 years old? So. And then he didn't have any head coaching experience prior to that. No. So it's not like he came in like preaching culture or like, oh, we're going to dictate whatever these guys do day in, day out. He let his superstars be superstars, and then it paid off because you see in the game, it was the big superstars making the plays. Yeah, they're the ones that showed up. Stafford, Cooper Kupp, and then Aaron Donald the last couple of plays, which just sealed the win.
I still think Aaron Donald should have won the MVP.
It would have been dope. But by then Cooper Kupp had already
he like
sealed
if you take out that last drive, like he really didn't he had 92 yards on 8 catches, but going into that drive he had
Cooper
maybe
Kupp,
40 yards.
It was the last drive for sure.
As to where Aaron Donald pretty much dominated that fourth quarter.
I think you can give it to either guy. I think you can argue both guys without them they don't win the Super Bowl.
Well, I mean, you can argue it. I think there were several players you could argue for. Stafford.
No, hit the
No,
two
you don't
picks.
think so?
No,
Just
throwing
the
two
throw
picks, you're not gonna win it. Like as soon as he threw the second one, I was like, oh, that's out the window. And then he didn't even throw for more than I think he threw for 286 or 284.
But I mean,
he threw
he under 300.
But that's also kind of what I mean is so it's like you can't necessarily just point to one guy and just like this is why we won. Everybody contributed, right? Like even Von Miller got a sack.
Yeah,
He came up.
Leonard
he came
Floyd
up
had
on
one.
a third down.
well,
Leonard
that
Floyd
team
had one.
they had like what 9-10 sacks as a team.
Seven sacks. Yeah. So
Again, ask me again what we think went wrong for the Bengals.
it was the offensive
And on
line.
top of all the pressures that they made him run,
But
out
a
of the pocket.
majority of them came in the second half,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Did he get sacked at all in the first half?
Yeah, Aaron Donald's push out of bounds.
That was the only sack. So
but the
six-
game plan was get the ball out of his hands quick early,
and it was working.
Yeah.
Because and you remember, I think there was like a 3rd and 1. I think I told you guys about it, where they ran a little slip screen to Jamar Chase and picked it up. Right. It's just like why didn't they go back to that on that 3rd and 1, something like that. I mean, the Rams ran a speed sweep with Cooper
4th
Kupp.
and 1
They said,
inside
"Hey,
your own
we're going to
30.
give it to our best player,
Dude, that's the
and
game
let him
right
do
there.
his thing."
That's the play of the game right there.
Exactly, for sure.
Because it's like, if you turn the ball over, this game's pretty much done. Because you're down 3.
Conceding the
You're down
minimum
4.
of field
Down,
goal.
yeah, or they were down 4
Yeah, you're down 4, and you're giving them the ball inside of
with like 3 minutes left.
Yeah, because you're gonna have to use all your timeouts.
Exactly. So, and so that's what I mean. They want to talk a lot about that last play. It's just like, how do you not go to your best player right away, right? Or they talk about Aaron Donald stopping the running back with one arm.
The
Right.
3rd and 1.
That was
3rd and
crazy.
1.
Samaje Perine.
Exactly.
That was crazy. The crazy part is not having Joe Mixon in. Like, I get Samaje's like your 3rd down guy,
But why would you not have
but
your best?
let your
best
playmakers
guy? Yeah.
make plays. Like, put
Right.
them in the game. You know.
Mm-hmm. And then on top of that too, it's a 4th and 1. You're going to go throw the ball. Why would you leave Aaron Donald one-on-one?
Hey, you just said something that like probably like 10 years ago or 5 years ago, even people would have like cringed. Like you think about how much the game has changed now. That
Right.
like on 4th and 1, it's not even about right. Well, what passing play we're gonna run right here?
Yeah, exactly.
What do you mean? You just need 1 yard, like. And now it's like
Flashbacks to that Seahawks Patriots Super Bowl. Like,
Yeah.
Why are we still passing on 4th and 1?
Throw it.
Why are we
Yeah.
still passing on short downs?
Yeah.
Darrell Bevel, the guy that called it, got hired in Miami now. So
Really?
Oh,
Yeah.
that's right. And he didn't really take any heat.
he's
for
some
it.
of it, but like it was kind of like passed around.
Yeah,
you
it
know?
was like
Pete Carroll,
mostly
took a
Pete
lot,
Carroll,
yeah,
huh? Yeah,
because he's the head guy.
but I mean, yeah, it's just the big time players showed up and make big time plays. And watching the GM's interview, and then up at the podium the other day, and it's just like, oh shit, that's their culture, right? Like that's them showing up to work, and then they love what they do. Like I think they were talking about, or they were talking to Von Miller, and they asked him like, oh well, what did you teach these guys, or did you have anything to do with like changing the culture here or anything like that? And he goes, to be honest, I don't know anything about football. What I know is pass rush, and I know how to sack the quarterback. And that's what I shit up and did, and we worked. We all did it together. It was a collaboration, and it paid off.
Yeah, I heard him. He just said that he was a plug and play guy.
Yeah, plug and play.
They
Yeah,
just
he
literally
said-
brought me to take pressure off
Right.
Aaron Donald, and that's what I did.
He said he just showed up. He had a couple of walkthroughs, and then he was ready to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, which I think I feel like that's going to be big, the big time blueprint leading up into the future of the NFL, which I think is super dope.
Yeah. Because they loaded up on that D line.
Right.
When you have a D line like that, they don't really have like big presence guys on the inside as far as backers go.
Yeah, because it's just up front. You really just look. It's just Donald, Floyd, and Miller.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, they have Ashawn Robinson too. The
And
other D
Ashawn
tackle.
Robinson. That's right.
That big fella.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just a massive D line.
That dude got through a lot on any sort of run play.
Yeah, so it was just like you build that kind of front
Yeah.
with the best defensive player in the league.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean,
But honestly, I thought the Bengals' defensive front was just as good. I mean,
they were making plays.
They were making plays.
There was
yeah.
zero run game presence. from the
Zero
Rams.
run game, and then once they lost Odell, the Rams couldn't do much offensively because they come back in the second half. Then they're down by 10, and then it was kind of just a back and forth. It was kind of just a showing of defense there for a while, right in the third quarter, where they're kind of just going back and forth. I think that's when they both got rolled up on their ankle, right? Watching Bradford get rolled up.
It was like
Stafford.
a gimpy crawl to the finish line between the two quarterbacks. Like who's gonna just last the longest?
And that's what I was like, oh, dude, we're not going to see two backup quarterbacks in the Super Bowl, are we? I was like, this can't happen.
Dude, when Burrow went down, people were like, "Who's the backup? Who's the backup?"
And they're all
I was like,
Googling
It don't matter.
They're gonna let Mixon throw it again.
Just-
If the
Halfback
backup
pass.
if a backup comes in right now, I'm just gonna go home. I ain't gonna watch this.
Just turn it off.
Anymore.
I'm just like, it's done, dude.
How about we just end in a tie? We'll replay this game in 2 months.
let these guys both get healthy.
We'll play next week.
We'll play next week. Well, I mean, Burrow only got a sprained MCL, right? We looked it up earlier, so it wasn't nothing really too serious. He's not going to need surgery or anything.
Stafford probably just a little sprained ankle.
Just rolled up ankle, which happens all the time.
I told Drew the day after, I was like, once again, another Super Bowl where no running game. You basically don't need a run game to win it.
Yeah.
Just think about, and I was telling this guy, like, think about the last 20 years. What great running back has won a Super Bowl?
Yeah, none.
None.
That I
The
can
last
think of.
one we went back to was
Falcon.
Marshall
Falk, and then my boy Darcy. Shout out to Darcy. He said Terrell Davis in the late
Of the
90s.
Broncos?
The back-to-back.
Yeah.
And then Marshall Falk in 2000.
Mm-hmm.
And think about Brady.
That was it. Brady really didn't have a strong.
He was passing to
running game.
Danny Woodhead and
Yeah.
Kevin Falk.
Yeah.
Like he didn't his.
And he had Sony Michelle and Devin White.
Yeah, see, it
Which
wasn't
they
like
were.
big
I mean,
time
they were
guys.
solid,
For
but they
that
weren't
argument, though, like
superstars.
in the Super Bowl, do you want to give the ball to your running back or do you want to
Let
give the
your
ball to
quarterback
Tom
win it,
Brady?
yeah.
Yeah, that's true too.
That's the biggest.
But I mean, even leading up to, like throughout the season, it's not like the Rams had completely no run game, right? Like there were some games where they're like,
Henderson.
Yeah, Darrell Henderson had a couple
after
good
Akers
games.
went
Yeah.
out. Henderson played really well.
well, that's what I mean. Is like it's not like it was completely non-existent throughout the year.
No, there's games where they played really well. In the
I feel
run
like
game.
I feel like you need a run game to at least get you to the game.
yeah,
right?
You can argue that.
Yeah, to at least get you there, and then once you're there, whatever happens.
But at
Once
that
you're
point-
once you're in the game, that's why I mean we see how many times have we seen the better team lose in the Super Bowl, right? Which is it would at that point if you once you get there, you're there, and whatever happens, you just have to be the best
you
team.
bring up a
that
good
day.
argument. The white jersey wins again.
Oh yeah, exactly.